Hi, I'm Madeline Dahl, and and I'm 16. I know, shocker. I'm 16. Crazy, never heard it before. You probably never met someone in your entire life that's been 16 besides me. True, I knew it. Okay. So one crazy thing you might not know about me and about a lot of other 16-year-olds is that we weren't always 16. I was young once. Can you believe it? This is me when I was 2. I clearly really like to eat cake, like a lot. I still do. But I still got older, close to the age I am now, and I got older. And my hair got a lot darker, sadly. But that's okay. So I kept doing that, and as I got older and older, but still younger, I started to do more activities. One of the activities I started to do that my mom put me in was dance. I love to dance. I did jazz and ballet and tap and lyrical, but not hip hop. Don't really know why. I just kind of didn't, but that's okay. I loved them all, but most importantly, I really loved ballet. And in ballet, I really loved it because I was in control of myself. I was in control of how high my elevate was, how high my arabesque was, how high I could leap, how fast I could turn, how many turns I can do. But what I started to learn as I got older in ballet was that I didn't look like everyone else. I was taller, I was more muscular, and I was starting to realize that as I was getting older in dance, I was being shoved to the back. I was in the back of the group, I was on the opposite side of everyone else, and no one could really see me in their performances. I started to realize that my teacher started to tell me I was too muscular, I was too tall, I needed to change how I looked. But still, I realized something. I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror anymore. I didn't like going to class. I didn't like this thing that I loved, something that I had done for 11 years. I started to develop something that 1 in 50 people suffer from, BDD, body dysmorphia. It's not fun. It sucks, and I didn't like it. But from that, 1 in 5 people will suffer from a mental illness. Luckily, I didn't get to that point because I seeked help. But 60% of people don't, and that really sucks. But that's okay, because I learned and I got better. So this was when I had to stop dancing. I was in 8th grade, about to enter high school, which was already a scary time, and it's even scarier when you don't feel good about yourself. But I knew one thing I really liked to do. I really liked to run. I was fast, and it was all by yourself. No one could tell you needed to look a certain way. So I went from this sport that most people think is so beautiful to what I think is really beautiful, running. I mean, who doesn't want to look at that, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, that one on the right, yeah, front page of the yearbook. That was fun. So I kept running. Oh, they just don't get better. But that's okay, because in cross country and track, I made a family. And it didn't matter what you looked like in that family, it mattered who you were. And it was amazing, because they loved me and I loved them, and we worked hard together and we trained together, and it was amazing. But there was something that was still bugging me. I was still scared. Scared of many things that people in America are scared of. These are some of the things that people in America are scared of. Snakes, spiders, public speaking, and just regular things. But some of these things you can control. All of these things, I don't know if you can see the circles on there, but most of these things you can control. You can control if you don't want to do public speaking. You can control a lot of those things. Some things you can't, but a lot of things you can. But so in order to learn how to not be scared anymore, I started to turn more towards this thing that I had done since I was 5, which is sailing. And so in sailing, I started out when I was little, not on these boats in particular, this is a wave, but I started out on holders. And on holders, we would fit like 6 kids in there, plus a teacher. It was really heavy in the boat. I don't know how we did it, but we did. And you learned. And we learned how to sail. We learned how to pull on the line, how to let it out, how to tack, how to jibe, head upwind, head downwind, all this crazy jargon. You probably have no idea what any of it means, and that's okay, neither did I, until I started to get older. And just as in dance, I started to have more trust in myself and what I was doing. I started to have to sail alone. It's terrifying the first time. So as I started to sail alone, I had this one crazy experience. It was the first time I sailed alone. So here it is. I know that's a really cool picture, but that's actually not what I looked like most of the time. Most of the time, 32 times an hour, I looked like this, crawling over the side of my boat because I fell over. So that was fun. But let's go back to the cool picture because that one looks a little bit better. There we go. So that's what I hoped to look like. So I did sailing. And in sailing, I was sailing alone. So I had to trust myself. I had to know when to tack, when to jibe, where the mark was, what mark I was going to. Half the time I went to the wrong one. That was really fun. But that's okay. Because I learned and I got better. And as I got better, I started to trust myself more and more. And because I started to trust myself more, I realized that I could do so many great things. Why was I scared of this? Why was I scared of these things that so many people are scared of? There was no reason to, because I trusted myself. And so if you trust yourself, you can do anything. Thank you.